everybody, I'm back on camera again. I'm Luke, I'm the guy behind the camera at Years in Gasoline. And this is my daily driver Honda Fit. It's the best car I've ever owned. I have a video explaining it right here. I'm not sure if it's this side or that side, but I have a video explaining why it's the best car ever made. And today we're gonna make it a little bit better and prep it for the track.
So you're probably wondering, Luke, why would you modify the best car ever? Well, it's twofold. First, the car is going to look better and go faster through the corners when all these mods are done. And second, the Bens say it's good for me to be on the channel for the quote, algorithm. So here we are.
So the first thing to do when installing new parts is to remove the old parts. And we have a host of new parts going on this car soon. But to get those on, we have to remove the old stuff. So we're gonna start by removing the wheels and the suspension off this car. So the Honda Fit was designed in a very interesting way. The front suspension is hidden under the windshield wiper cowl. So first step is to take off pretty much all the windshield wiper stuff so we can access the front suspension top bolt. I guess the front suspension is like right there. All right, well, it's gotta come off at some point. Step one, remove this thing. Oh, there we go, look at that, magic.
There are a couple of clips on the cowl, you're gonna have to pop those off. The cowl comes off in 4 pieces. Just be careful, it's all plastic and you can definitely break it.
Well, I'm gonna have to somehow find a way to put that back in. All the plastics. Okay, you know what? The head works for... Oh, look at that. See, just gotta use your noggin. I think this car sat outside in like the Northern Virginia area for a while. So all this kind of does make sense. Look at that. Much more room to work now.
You are watching a master at work.
Wow, look at that. Now that is a factory strut. I think we have to reuse this piece. Oh no, I'm just glad it's out.
You know, I did my first oil change like a year ago. You know, I took my KA apart before I did an oil change. Look at that. Side 2. Done. Where's the rubber isolator? No! Oh, well, that's working on cars for you. That's a spring. It's an OEM spring. So for suspension, we were doing none other than Fortunatos. And Devin from Fortunato took one look at this little Honda Fit and said that it needed Fortunatos. These coilovers have a custom top hat that was designed by Fortunato that allows you to adjust camber without having to re-drill new suspension points on the top. These coilovers are also a little bit different from other coilovers. Honda Fits only have 1 bolt on the top to install them, and on the bottom it's kind of normal with 2 bolts. You know, I've always liked Fortunatos. I've never owned a set of coilovers, but I think this is a good set for my first set of coilovers. Yeah, this is going quite slowly, as it is my first time ever doing this. But, you know, we're making it through. It's not too bad. There's worse things that could be happening right now. Solid beam is the best suspension design for a rear suspension ever created. Porsche AA arm can at me. So the suspension is all in the car. It's not bolted up finally or anything yet. We haven't even set ride height because we do not have the wheels or tires mounted. But while we're under here, we might as well move on to something safety related. So right here in my hand, we have some StopTech stainless steel braided brake lines. These are going to be replacing the OEM line that's right here. These are going to help improve pedal feel, help with brake modulation, and most importantly, they're stronger than the OEM line. So we we have finished installing our brake line. So we have our top piece installed here and the banjo bolt and 2 copper washers installed down here. And now we're gonna bleed these brakes with some high temp brake fluid, because if you do not have high temp brake fluid, you'll blow your brakes and you won't have brakes going into the back straight of the IR. Granted, I'll only be going like 92 miles an hour, but apparently one 500 ml bottle is enough. We have a third of a 500 ml bottle here and a full 500 ml bottle. So hopefully we can actually get through the whole system without running out. Open, close, open, close. Oh crap, oh.
Where is it?
It's all over the inside of the trailing arm. Remember, kids, put your brake bleeder bottle over before you know, crack your bleeder open. Close. Brakes are all done. The stop tech lines are installed. The high temp brake fluid is in there, so you should have no issues with braking at all on track. So now everything's good and we can move over to the wheels and tires. For wheels, we are doing Koenig hypergrams. These are 15 by 7.5 plus 35, and these are super light, 12 pounds a wheel. They're bronze, which should really contrast the white. I mean, it worked on Ben's STI with the ZE40, so it has to work on the fit. I like these wheels because everybody in Sunday Cup runs these, which is the Grid Life class for low power vehicles like my Fit. Huge thank you to the people over at Fitment Industries for helping me source these and sending these over. Our first source for wheels is always Fitment Industries, and they're a huge help. So thank you again, guys, and can't wait to put these on. So for tires, we are going with Falken RT615K Pluses. Now, these are a less aggressive 200 tread wear than something like an RT660, so it makes it more ready for street driving and track driving. And these will last significantly longer than something like an RT660, which would maybe, depending on the car, last 1 to 2 track days. These should last like thousands and thousands of miles, hopefully. Well, normally I would just take these wheels and tires to a shop to get them mounted. Unfortunately, we have a tire machine here, so that makes me legally obligated to use the tire machine if it's here. So I used to know how to use this at one point in my life. That point of my life is not now, and that was 4 years ago. So I'm gonna have to try to figure this out for the first time again. This thing looks really good. I did not expect it to look this good. I'm in love. All right, we're so low now that I'm taking the wood blocks out. This is a very interesting day. That is disgusting, dude. That is ridiculous. This car is so dumb. So now that I'm done oohing and ahhing at my new car.
You're not done.
I'm not done. But we've done alignments about 1 billion times on this channel, and I'm just gonna have Ben do it, and I'm gonna help him out as we go through it, because I do not have the experience to do it, and I want this car to drive straight, and this guy knows how to make a car drive straight. So Ben graciously aligned my car. Big thank you to him. And now we are going to get all this trim and stuff reinstalled because on the fit. So once we get all this back in, you should be able to drive it off the lift and we'll give her a nice little rip. So it is a brisk November morning out here in the Virginia mountains, and today we're going to be driving this car for the first time, a little spiritedly. So last night when I drove the car home, because it is my daily, I did notice a little bit of rubbing, so I gave it about 3 turns on the coilovers, so it is raised a bit in the front, and then on the way out here it did not rub at all, so we should be able to give her a little rip on the mountains and see how she does. I'm really excited to see how these Fortunatos do. The front is set 6 clicks from soft, and the rear is set in the middle at 12 clicks, so it's set right in the middle of hard and soft. Man, I'm excited to drive this thing. It just looks so good. So after Ben and I test drove the car last night, I was really happy with how it drove on the street. It wasn't too much more uncomfortable than it was with the stock suspension. There is a little bit more creaks and a little bit more like clattering from the suspension, but that's fine because everything OEM is normally all rubber bushings, and now we're going over to pretty much everything's either solid mounted or there's a lot less rubber in between things. So I did expect it to be a little bit louder, and the Fit isn't known for having the quietest interior either, so you are gonna pick up and hear a lot of bumps. But we're approaching the mountain now, so I'm excited. I'm really excited to feel this. Into a big brake zone. Let's feel those stop tech lines. Wow, braking is way better with the stop techs. The lines definitely do add pedal feel for sure. There's just so much grip. Turns in way better. Whoa, that's a lot of lateral grip. So after driving this car in the mountains, I have to say it is the best car that has ever been created. I want to thank the guys who helped out on this build again, Fitment Industries and Fortunato. They made this car look the way it is, and I have to thank them so much for that. And I'm gonna keep driving this thing, and my final conclusion is this is the best car that has ever been created. Nobody can tell me otherwise.